Here's a song called Wonderful.
You are perfect in your own way. You are beautiful in your own way. Every day now, make it your day, 'cause it's wonderful in its own way. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way, in its own way. Life has chose you to express yourself just as you are, just as you are, without fear. Plant a new thought, watch it grow up in its own way. Life has chose you, life has chose you to express yourself just as you are. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way. A one in a billion is what you are. That alone changed the world. I am grateful, I am grateful. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way. There's just a one you and one me, and that's wonderful in its own way, in its own way.
Well, good morning. Welcome, Agape. Yes, here we are today. How'd you like that music with our beloved Stephen Curry? Yeah, it's so great. We're getting this technology thing down so that we bring you some of the sounds of Agape. Just a little bit of a treat for you today. So, hey, I know you're out there, you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on YouTube. Say hello, write a comment in, let me know where you're from, check in. This way we know who you are and we get to know you better. Because if you're watching this, you are Agape. That's one of the things I can tell you. So you know what? Life is wonderful, isn't it? And so this week, I'll share with you one of the things that I like to do is I like to constantly be expanding in my life. I like to constantly be experiencing more. So as you write down hellos and all of that, let me just tell you a little something I did this week. If you don't know, I am a pizza connoisseur. I love pizza. I love it so much that I got myself a pizza oven. It was given to me by people in California, sent me a pizza oven. And then I now make my own pizzas, and I've gotten very, very good at it. I get Italian dough. I have San Marzano tomatoes. I've got fresh basil. I've got mozzarella cheese. And in fact, I have a mozzarella provolone combination shredded cheese. And I put a little olive oil on it. But here's the key thing. I was thinking about that. Do I have quality olive oil? And I said, well, yeah, I have Costco. They rated Costco really good. And I said, whoa, is Costco olive oil the best? And I remember when Jean and I went to Italy 2 years ago, we went to this place called Tenuta Torciniano. And when we went there, they have their own olive grove along with their own vineyard. And so I wrote him an email and I said, so what kind of olive oil you got? And he says, oh, we've got the best. And this is what you get. So this week, I ordered olive oil and some balsamic vinegar from this orchard in Italy. I share that with you because I believe life is like pizza. The quality of the ingredients you put in the pizza determines the quality of your eating experience. And the quality of the thoughts that you think determine the quality of your life. And I think that's real important to understand, that the quality of the thoughts that we think determine the quality of our life. So I want you to just reflect a little bit and think about, where have your thoughts been? What have you been thinking about lately? Is it for a more expansive life? Is it for a more expansive you? Are you going back and reliving the past over and over again? Or are you just not even aware? I don't know where you are. I'm just sort of asking the question so that maybe we can together trigger a global awakening, so that for all the people listening from all over the world, that we can awaken together as the Agape community. And when we do that, we will light up and we will change the world. So I want you now to just sit back. Let's take a moment and let's regroup. Let's reframe. Let's spiritually reboot. So if you would, come to a comfortable and seated upright position. Let your hands gently rest on your lap. Close your eyes and know that no matter where you are, you're safe. There's nothing to worry about. And now let this golden white light start at the very top of your head and let it surround you, so it encapsulates you in a golden bubble. And in this bubble, you are protected. And now imagine that golden light at the very top of your head now starts to move into your body. It moves into your head, your forehead, your temples, your cheeks, your eyes, your chin, your nose, your lips, your jaw, your neck, the back of your head. And your whole head becomes deeply, deeply relaxed. And that golden light now moves down into your shoulders, and your shoulders just go, oh, it's so good. And it easily slides down into your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers. And your arms are so completely and perfectly relaxed. The golden light easily moves into the chest, the abdomen, and then starts at the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back. So your whole upper body now is in a perfect state of relaxation. Feel the ease in which the golden light moves into your hips, your sacral area, your thighs, your hamstrings, your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, your feet, and your toes. So your whole body now is deeply relaxed. Feeling even safer and more relaxed, we now take the mind down into the subconscious. And as I count from 5 to 1, we move deeper into the subconscious mind. 5, going deeper. 4, ever so more peaceful. 3, deeper and deeper. 2, beautiful peace. 1, totally calm, totally peaceful, and totally relaxed. There is no judgment in this state. This is a state of oneness with the infinite. And so observe the sounds you might be hearing. Observe the sensations moving through your body. Observe the thoughts as they pass in and out. You can't stop the thoughts, you just observe them. So there's no attachment to the sensations in the body, no attachment to the thoughts. You are a point of consciousness within the infinite consciousness, observing all that is. It is in this state that we realize that we are one with infinite mind. And I know right now within each person listening, there is a question. There's a desire for a greater clarity about some aspect of your life experience. I invite you to ask infinite wisdom to give you guidance in what is that next step. And in the stillness, in the silence, listen. And know that you are guided in every moment by the oneness, the allness. And know that if the answer is not clear yet, it will be made clear in a very, very short period of time. The intention has been set, and it must be given. So come into a place of gratitude for the peace, for the relaxation, for the clarity. And from this place of gratitude, we now start to come back into our mind, into our body. And I'll guide you there as I count from 1 to 5. We come back into our body, our sensations, and our mind. 1, becoming more aware. 2, feeling back in our bodies. 3, our mind and body are connected. 4, fully becoming more and more present. 5, body and mind completely re-engaged, centered, and now open your eyes. Be that new you. So today, I'm going to continue my talk series on how to get the most out of life. And today, for part 3, I'm going to look at how do we use our will for greater life expression. And so I think it's really clear that we understand what is willpower. And here's my best idea on that. Willpower is the ability to keep our focus on a particular outcome. So if we desire to have health, we keep our focus on only health. Will is the ability to maintain a mental idea, a mental image of that which we seek, desire, and we decide upon. It's not a casual desire. It's a desire that we've made a decision on. And when we make a decision, we leave no other option but that. And so the decision having been made, now we use our willpower to keep our focus. You see, will is directive, but it's not what creates. There's an infinite intelligence that creates. It's not that we will something happen, we will it, it's done. No, will is keeping the focus. The will holds our attention on the desired experience until the creative power has time to bring forth our demonstration through the creative process. So the will holds the image of health. As it holds the image of health, it gets implanted deeper and deeper within the creative mind, the creative power. And as it's held there, the creative power then brings it into fruition. You see, the creative process is interesting. You see, we use our mind first to form an image of what we want. We live that vision. We become that vision. Our will keeps us focused on it and our purpose, and then it gets created. The creative process is really simple. We are building a new belief. That's what the creative process is, building a new belief. But first, you got to think about it. You got to imagine, what is the new belief? What is the new experience? Then you've got to get really clear on it. You've got to paint all the colors in it. You've got to create the slide, the image. So what does perfect health look like for you? It may look different than what it is for someone else. You can't just say perfect health. You've got to be able to say, what is it? That I function at the level of a healthy, virile 25-year-old athlete. That I have perfect assimilation, elimination, circulation, and breathing. That my body lives in homeostasis. That I'm able to do whatever I want, when I want, how I want, to have the life experience. And I'm able to travel the world, to hike the world. I'm able to bend, squat. I'm able to pick up my grandchildren. I'm able to throw them up in the air, catch them. I'm able to get up out of a Corvette. And you say, why would you say that, Lee? Do you know how low a Corvette is? You may be able to get into the Corvette, but getting out of it's a whole different thing because it's low. And you've got to have some really firm, tight, strong legs and hips, because otherwise you're going to need help getting out of it. I'm making a little joke there, but it's true. Last time I went in a Corvette, I had to grab hold of the things and pull up. I said, ooh, need to do more squats here. So if you want a Corvette, build the image of the physical body of a person who can get in and out of it. Most of the time, what you find is that in a lot of these sports cars, when people can afford them, it's not comfortable for them to get in and out of them. Isn't that funny? We haven't aligned ourselves to the vision. So here's what I want. The more persistent and consistent our focus, the more rapid we'll see our demonstration. This idea of persistency and consistency is true in everything in life. The more persistent and consistent you are in doing meditation, the greater you're able to pause, to reflect, to be at peace. The more persistent you use the pause before doing anything, guess what? Then you're responding instead of reacting. The more persistent and consistent you use affirmations toward that which you want, you build the mental image of your life, and that image becomes implanted in the subconscious and it becomes automatic. You're now using habits. You're using habits to create your life, because it's impossible to be conscious all the time, thinking all the time of exactly what you want. So the key is build a habit so that it's a gigaloop going on. It's playing over and over and over. See, the purpose of our will is to keep out doubt, which slows the creative process. If you're focusing on what you want, you're not getting, oh, but I had this before. And you see, this is the major opportunity for us. Because here's what we've been taught in society. We've been taught to go back and analyze our life. We've been taught we've got to relive the past over and over. We've got to figure out what was wrong. We've got to figure out every detail. Here's a key, gang. Think if this is not true. The more you focus on what happened and you maintain that image, you keep attracting more of it. You don't heal from it. The simple way to heal is to build a new image and put all of your energy there. All of your energy there. But here's what we do in society. We set up meetup groups. Meetup groups of what? Families that are children of dysfunctional families. And we get together and we talk about all of the dysfunction our family had. And everyone's got a different story. And guess what? We listen to that story. Guess what happens? It gets anchored in our subconscious mind. We're actually building the idea of dysfunction deeper and deeper and deeper into our mind, thinking that we're working on healing ourselves. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't work that way. The idea is focus on what is a functional family. What are functional relationships to you? And so I was listening. I've been listening to a book lately. Those who've been following me on a daily basis know. I've been listening to a book called Understanding Women. And there's some wonderful insights in there. And the person who's doing this is one of the leading experts on this, been doing it for years and years and years. And there are things I disagree with. And she might come back and tell me, well, you're a man. Of course you're going to disagree. And I'm saying, I know that the men and women's brains function differently. I get that. But there comes a time when we become aware that we become personally responsible. And we can't blame it that we've been programmed like that for thousands of years. There comes a time when we have to break the program. We've got to break the domestication. Because guess what? If we can't break the domestication, then how are we individualized expressions of the infinite? How are we points of consciousness that can tap into infinite power and use it? One of the things that was brought up was the fact that in this person's perspective is that women are always connected to source. They're always connected to God. They're always connected. And I'm going, and the way the person said it is, it's associated with our feelings. And I'm saying feelings take us out of connection with source, because feelings take us to the yin or the yang. And the pure experience of the divine is in between the feelings. Different perspective, isn't it? I say this because I'm asking you to build a habit to persistently and consistently use your willpower to think for yourself. Do not believe will is the key to changing your life experience. It is not to get out of the images of what we don't want, but rather keeping the images of what we do want in the forefront of our mind. So when I'm with you and I'm talking to you, I want to talk to you about where are we going? What is your dream? What does that dream look like? What does that dream feel like? How do you act when you do that dream? Those are empowering questions because it's anchoring it deeper and deeper and deeper into the subconscious mind. You see, when we come together and we talk about living an expansive life, everybody's benefiting from it. You know what? That's what Agape is all about. The love of God operating through the human heart. The love of God, the expansion of the human heart, functioning as the infinite with no limitation. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? But I want to share something with you, and this is really key. We should never use our willpower on anything outside of ourselves. And the reason I say that is we have no idea of what is good for another person. We have no idea what is right for their path. So when people ask me to pray for someone else, here's what I pray for. I pray that the divine wisdom within them gives them the clarity to live their most authentic, expansive, and connected life. And I know that they are divinely guided by that unique infinite power that they are. And you see, with that, I'm not confining them. I'm not limiting them. I'm opening up and knowing for them the power that they are. Because if I know that I have that power, then I have to know that everyone else has that power, because there are no favorites in the infinite. We're all equal. And that's important to know. We can only use our will for another, in my belief, if they give us permission to. And when we do use our will for another, we must be very clear to understand what they want. In other words, we must ask questions. We can't fill in their slide. We can't color in their picture without a really clear vision of what they want. Someone would say, I want to heal. I'd ask the question, what does healing mean to you? Well, I want physical healing. What does that look like for you? See, because what it looks like for them may be different than what it looks like for me. Everyone has a different perspective. So when we pray for others, when we hold the vision for others, let's really get the clarity from them so that we can honor them and allow the vision for them to come true. I think it's really important. You see, the creative process starts with a dream. It starts with our dream. And our will directs the creative process to bring our dream into reality. That's why willpower is so important. It brings our dream into reality. Here's the key. Thy or my will be done. Will has been a part of our lives and was said in the ancient scriptures. Thy will be done. My will be done. The key is, where will you put your focus? Where will you put your willpower so that you create a conscious and purposeful life? Let's pray. I know right here and now that there is only one. It is infinite, it is all-knowing, it is everywhere present, it has always been. It is the seen, the unseen, it is the known, the unknown, and the unknowable. It is the creator of all things. It is pure, infinite wisdom. And I know that I and each of you are one with it. We are points of consciousness within infinite wisdom. I now make a claim that divine wisdom flows through me and flows through you, and each of us is guided to the clarity that we seek about expressing this life. And with that clarity received, the willpower within us is awakened, and we hold that vision. We focus our thoughts, words, actions, and feelings toward that which we desire. We hold it persistently and consistently, no matter what is happening, and we demonstrate the power of creativity that is there for us to use. I know that each of us respects every other individual to live their lives as they choose to live, for we understand that each of us is unique. And in order to love, we must accept uniqueness as perfect. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Will is the tool we get to use to experience a more expansive life and a more expansive love. With that in mind, I go into gratitude and I give thanks for this prayer, for this time, and I know that this prayer is already answered. And so I bless it and call it good, and I let it be. And so it is. Amen. Well, I'm so grateful that you joined us today. And if this message touched you, please go to AgapeCSL or the link in the Facebook page below or in the YouTube channel and make a donation. Make a donation to support our continuing to bring this work in a more expansive nature for you. I want you to know to go to the Agape calendar and check out all the events that we offer virtually. But I'm really excited. Next week, here in Frisco, Texas, we will have Agape in the Park. Yes, we'll be starting at 10 a.m. We'll do meditation at 10 a.m. We'll do a celebration, a different type of celebration at 10:30, and then we're going to have fellowship. For those of you not here, don't worry about it. I'm taking care of you. We'll be here next week at 10:30, just like we always are. You're going to get a great service, a great message. Everything is going to be there for you. I've learned to bilocate. You're saying, Lee, you can't do that. I said, watch next Sunday. I can. Also want to let you know that classes are going to start up the middle of May. If you've not been to an Agape class, they're 5 or 6 weeks long. We've got 2 different classes. And one of them is The Power of Self by Don Miguel Ruiz. And the other class is How to Meditate. If either of those are interesting, you can go to AgapeCSL and sign up today. Just to let you know, starting in May, I think it's May 23rd, we will be doing in-person services each month for the remainder of this year, unless things change significantly, and then we may do them more often. But we are definitely coming together on a monthly basis. That's where we're taking it. We were guided by Spirit. Everyone that's on your board and leadership, that became really clear. It's time to reconnect. But remember, we're not just a local community. We are a worldwide spiritual center. There is no time and distance between any of us. We are here to support each other, and we're going to do that in the most phenomenal way. So I want to take a moment and just say how grateful I am for each of you and how much I love you. And it is a joy to be a supporting part of your life. So use your will and go create the most magnificent day today. Until next week, I love you and I accept you just like you are.